Hey everybody, what is going on? This is OrvieWoah bringing you another Call of Duty gameplay, and this time we're going to be talking about the things that I really hope they change from the beta to the game. The things that I had that I am not a fan of, the cons, you would say, of Modern Warfare 2 so far. Overall, I'm very excited about the game, very happy, but these are the things that can keep this game from being what its true potential is. We'll get right into the video, so remember, if you do enjoy it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Other than that, let's get it. All right, so we're back, and we're playing the beta again. Today we're talking about the things that we are worried about, the things that we don't like about the beta. And honestly, there's really not as much. I had to stretch this out a little bit more than I did on the other video. We'll talk about them all as we go through. You can see on my creative classes here, again, we changed the names to the things we want to talk about. It's mostly stuff you've probably already heard. You've already heard people talking about it. The number one thing is the time to kill. And we'll talk about that right now. It is incredibly fast. It is insanely fast. Part of that is the headshot multiplier on this game must be astronomical. If you get a headshot, you're probably winning that gunfight no matter what. Which, fair enough, you know, maybe that should probably still be true to some degree. I'm not a game balancer. I don't know where the balance needs to be, especially for overall for everyone that's playing it. But just for me personally, this feels like I'm playing hardcore on core. I can't imagine what hardcore would even feel like anymore. It is so fast that at times it feels almost unplayable. There are engagements and things that will happen where you just don't get an input in it. And not necessarily, I'm not talking about where, you know, I run headfirst into a room 10 feet in before I check a corner. In that case, I probably should lose that if someone's sitting in a corner when I run past them. I'm talking about see a guy coming, get aimed up, get ready to shoot, and then pop, I'm dead instantly before I even saw any bullets come towards me or got any chance of anything, of an input. And you'll see it probably, you saw it maybe in that last game a few times. I'm sure you've seen clips. I know Envoy posted a clip on his Twitter of some just crazy fast time to kill stuff where it's just excessive. It's just a little too excessive. And this is something that's definitely tweakable. They've tweaked it in I think almost every game they've made the last few years. So I'm hopeful that this is something that will get changed. And I can see why they want it one way or the other, but right now it's just much too fast. And I completely understand, you know, if you don't want to be able to instantly shoot out of attack sprint, things like that, that all makes sense. A lot of the stuff makes perfect sense, but at some point, teammate, if there's just no time for me to do anything, the fights feel incredibly cheap. I like, especially coming from older school CODs, I saw that Claymore way too late. Coming from those, I really enjoy having the ability to finesse somebody, or maybe get a chance to turn on someone, or something to that nature. Not that I will always be able to do that, but I enjoy having that ability. And when the time to kill is as fast as it is here, there's just not that option. There's obviously still things you can do. You can bunny hop, you can do all these other things that we all take advantage of, which are great, but there's just almost nothing you can do. If you get shot, you're pretty much dead almost every time. So the next thing I was going to talk about is Dead Silence. This is the fourth game in a row where they have decided to try to not make Dead Silence a perk. They keep flirting with this, and for I don't even want to put a number on it, but some large percentage of the casual COD community, even not like full casuals, but just the non-professionals, it will not show up much. But for a large amount of the casual player, the normal COD player, it's not going to come up a ton. But for anybody in search games, or for any time where the map is a little bigger and you're a little more spread out from your team, the footsteps are so incredibly good, but also so loud that people, I mean, if you watch your kill cams on here, 9 times out of 10, there will be a guy aiming one direction, like this. He'll hear something, he'll turn, he'll pre-aim, and then you'll run in front, and then he just beams you down. And that's just how it is on a lot of these kills, and it's all just because they can hear you, and there's no way to combat it other than having dead silence as a earnable that you get every once in a while, but can't really control the pace of. Again, for a lot of the game, it's just not going to come up much. It's mostly going to be for pro players or for players that play a lot of search, but it is something that matters, and it is an annoyance that we have. Things were done well enough in previous games that it shouldn't have been screwed with, is the bigger issue here. And that's things, really a lot of these things kind of all play back into that. The next thing that we're talking about here is the mini-map, another change that they made. And I think a lot of us kind of know why they made it. But it's not the reason that they've really come out and said. But regardless, the fact is, it doesn't work like traditional mini-maps have. Now, if you shoot your gun, you do not show up on the map right away. You only show up on the map if there's a UAV or some other circumstance that puts you onto the map. But you do not show up for shooting your gun. And again, it's just a thing that I don't know that we needed changed. They said that the reason is that they don't want to punish people for shooting their gun, which I can somewhat understand, but apparently then they do want to punish people for moving because the footsteps are so loud. So I'm having a hard time kind of understanding exactly what it is they're trying to accomplish there. Again, these guns, just to kind of sneak back into things that I do like, the guns feel awesome. Oh, shit. He just ran up and punched me. The guns feel great. They feel incredible. I'm playing with my audio turned down so that it's not too loud on the video. Hopefully it still sounds good. But the guns feel great. That's just something I can't really get over. Everything. Shotguns feel like shotguns. It all feels real again. Brings me to the last section here. Do they care? The whole point of this tab is these changes they've made feel like changes that nobody really asked for, when we had clear things that we were asking for and got to some degree on a lot of things. But if we have things we're asking for, why are we changing things that we're not asking for? And then also the bigger issue is, one of the biggest things that I've heard throughout the beta, the whole point of a beta as far as I know, and just throughout the talks have been, we want feedback. We want to hear what you think. We want to hear what you think. Let us know. Feedback, feedback. The problem with that is, after the initial beta, when the feedback came back that TTK is a little fast, we don't like the mini-map change, and we want dead silence as a perk, they responded with, too bad, TTK staying the same. We like the mini-map how it is, and we're not making dead silence a perk. And then like a sentence that said, we heard you. So I don't understand the point of asking for feedback if you're not going to take the feedback. There have been multiple different polls that I've seen done on Twitter by COD, various COD community people, as far as video makers, content creators, asking these things, and almost all of the things we talked about in this video, 90% or better want them changed. It seems, it's just really weird that so many people want these things changed, and essentially you're saying the game would feel near perfect if they were. And for whatever reason, Infinity Ward is like, no, sorry, we heard you and we want you to tell us, but we're not going to do those things though. I don't know why they're stubborn about that. I think they just kind of have an idea for how they think the game should play, and then you're either going to have fun on it or you're not. And I imagine that what they're thinking is there's enough people that don't care about those things that they will keep playing, and the people that do care enough will either keep playing anyways because there's no alternative, or they'll quit and it's just too small of an amount to care. That is the scariest thing about all of this to me. The fact that they asked for feedback, we said, really, there's only a very few things to change, and they said, yeah, sorry, not doing it. That's a little scary. If they had even just left it a little more open, I would have felt better about it. But that being said, I think if with no changes, I think the game is a somewhere between a 6 and an 8, somewhere in that range, 7-ish, call it a 7. I would rate it much better than any of the last 2 or 3 games we've had so far, and that's just off the beta. A lot of the things that are, kind of problematic will be fixed. Menus are a little wonky. There's some, crashes. Those things will get worked on. But other than that, the game plays really good already. I talked about it in the first one. The bones of the game are great. If they can just fix some of the meat, if they can just fix some of the external, the game could really be one of the best we've ever had. I hope that they will continue to get enough positive, constructive feedback about these things that we want changed that they will finally come to the light and say, okay, look, enough people want it, let's do it. And if they do, we're going to have a great game. Other than that, I'd love to hear what you guys think about the beta. What did you hate? What did you love? What do you think the game's going to be like? Are you excited or not? Please, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all those things. They really help with the algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.